Chapter 2061. I don't think I ran into a wall. After all, we've never talked about it. You know that your daughters have been trying to set us up, but I don't think Suyu is interested in me. Just by looking at how obsessed he has been with my sister-in-law for the past few years, I know that he won't like me. So I gave up. I told you that he's not a good match for you. It's not that I don't want my sister to be with him because he's my rival in love. It's just that Suyu can be very stubborn. His love for Mion is no less than mine. So I don't recommend you get close to him. After all, you're still a young girl with no history of love. It'll be bad if you get traumatized. Big brother, you're right. I'll listen to you and go back to the States after spending a week with my nieces. You're not at HQ right now and my dad has a lot of work to do. It's up to you. Then go to bed early. Big brother, don't make my sister-in-law worry. Okay. Qin Ning benefited a lot from this heart-to-heart talk between the siblings. After she learned about Suyu's obsession with Huamin, she backed off. Although she envied Suyu's love, it wasn't for her. So she decided to give up. At night, the Hua mansion, when Hua Xiqian came back from the charity banquet, he was in a much better mood. In the study, he was copying Hua Mion's calligraphy that he had just bought. Under the calligraphy, he had another piece of white paper with the words, "Virtuous bearing all things" written on it. Although he knew that he would never be able to do such a noble thing, he believed that his sister could. So Hua Xiqian was in a good mood as he copied the calligraphy. He hadn't smiled in days, but now he was smiling. This made his subordinates feel relieved. "Miss Yen." One of the subordinates greeted Yen Ruoshi. "Is Qian upstairs?" "The boss is." "What is he doing?" Practicing calligraphy." "Calligraphy? He's in a good mood. I'll go see him." Then Yen Ruoshi ran up the stairs. He went up to the study on the second floor, then pushed the door open and walked in. Hua Xiqian raised his head and glanced at her. Then without any expression he continued to write. "Qian, you know calligraphy?" Yen Ruoshi walked over intimately and held Hua Xiqian's arm, but Hua Xiqian pushed her away unhappily. "Why are you here?" "What? Am I not welcome here?" Yen Ruoshi pouted cutely. "I've told you everything I need to say. Don't waste your time on me." "Come on, I'm not listening. By the way, have you had dinner yet? I recently learned about a dish called rose dumplings on Weibo. It looks really good and tastes really good. I'll make it for you." "No need, I've already eaten." Hua Xiqian refused coldly. "Qian, that bitch Mo Shui won't be so obedient in the Xiang family. I think she'll encourage that old man to do something to you. You have to be careful. That bitch Mo Shui will be punished by the heavens." "It's okay, I know how capable she is. She won't be able to cause any trouble." Hua Xiqian had always been dismissive of Mo Shui. "But I'm worried that she'll find someone else to partner up with. You're just recovering from your injury and the company's stock market just went through a downturn. So, I'm worried that you'll be taken advantage of. Why don't you marry me? My dad is still the mayor, and if you marry me, a lot of people will be afraid of your status and won't dare to mess with you. What do you think?" Then Yen Ruoshi looked at Hua Xiqian expectantly. Chapter 2062. "Marry you? Are you kidding me?" Hua Xiqian put down the brush in his hand, his good mood instantly evaporating. "No, don't get me wrong. What I mean is, I'm the mayor's daughter now. If you marry me, it'll be beneficial for you," Yen Ruoshi explained anxiously. "Do you think I still need to marry you to strengthen my position in this situation? Are you underestimating me or overestimating your father?" Hua Xiqian's tone was extremely unkind. Stop talking about this. Let's stop talking about this. Get out of here. I don't want to see you." After Hua Xiqian was seriously injured, he didn't want to have anything to do with Yen Ruoshi. She was different from Song Yisher. When he married Song Yisher, he wanted to take revenge for Hua Mian. However, Yen Ruoshi was innocent and he didn't need her father's help. Since there was no point in doing anything, why should he waste his time on her? "Qian, I don't want to leave you. I really like you. You like me? Hi, do you know me? You like me?" "Yen Ruoshi, I'm not a good person." Hua Xiqian viciously pinched her chin and warned her. "I know, but I don't care who you are. I just like you. I don't want to, but I can't control myself. Qian, I'm not like Mo Shui. I won't betray you, and I won't team up with other men to deal with you. You have to believe me, okay? You have to be clear about this. This kind of thing needs to be consensual. It can't be one-sided. I don't like you and I don't want to see you. Stop pestering me, okay? I used to be nice to you because of your father, but now your father can't do anything to me. Get out of here. Qian, get out of here. Huasiqian pushed Yen Ruoshi out of the door and slammed it shut. Yen Ruoshi wanted to cry but had no tears. At this moment she hated Huamin. This was because she knew that the only person Huasiqian cared about in his entire life was Huamin. On what basis? Why was Huamin so lucky? Could she be liked by Huasiqian? Yen Ruoshi was so angry that she ran downstairs and drove away. The next morning Huamin was on his way to work. Just as he was about to step onto the overpass, a car crashed into him from behind. A serious rear-end collision. Huamin didn't think that anyone would be so bored as to deliberately rear-end a car when there was no traffic jam. Moreover, he deliberately hit her Audi R8. Although her Audi R8 was not a top luxury car, it was still worth more than 1,000,000 yuan. Ordinary people should know who he is, right? Huamin was a little dizzy from the collision. After calming down, she opened the car door and got out. Behind them was a red Land Rover. Huamin walked over. Just as he was about to talk to the car owner, he saw that the woman sitting inside was Yen Ruoshi. Huamin didn't know Yen Ruoshi at all. Other than knowing that she was Mayor Yan's daughter, he also knew that she often hung out with Huasiqian. That day at the hospital, something unpleasant happened, but Huamian didn't take it to heart. Miss Yen, you did this on purpose, didn't you? Huamin was a little angry. He knocked on the car window and asked. Yen Ruoshi rolled down the car window and looked at Huamin coldly. So what? If you break it, I can pay you back. You're not the only one with money. Upon hearing this, Huamian was so angry that her expression changed. Chapter 2063. Miss Yen, you have to understand that this isn't something that can be solved with money. You rear-ended a car on purpose. That's a very bad thing. Huamin couldn't understand why the mayor's daughter was so unruly. Song Yisher was like this and now Yen Ruoshi was the same. Who said I rear-ended a car on purpose? I was distracted and didn't see it. Can't I? Yen Ruoshi held the steering wheel with both hands, looking very arrogant. Okay, then we'll wait for the traffic police to come. Huamin called the company and Bella brought a team of professionals over. Huamin looked at her watch and felt that she was going to be late. She was very anxious. She was near the overpass and it wasn't easy to get a taxi during the morning rush hour. She stood on the side of the road and waved her hands frantically. Finally, a black Porsche Cayenne stopped in front of her. The car window rolled down and a man's face appeared. You look like you're in a hurry. Let me give you a ride. Jiang Yi smiled. Huamin was about to refuse when Jiang Yi said, if you're still prejudiced against me, then pretend that I didn't say anything. But I'm really going to Southside for a checkup. It's on the way. You can consider it or you'll really be late. Jiang Ye's words obviously worked. Huamin gritted her teeth even though she hated this man. In the end, she still didn't want to be late, so she got into the car. Is it that scary to be in my car? Jiang Yi asked with a smile. It's okay, Huamin answered coldly. Ha! I can tell from your expression that you're ready to die. Jiang Yi joked. Huamin didn't answer. I heard that you went back to work at Southside, domineering CO? Jiang Yi asked. You're quite well informed. Huamin looked at Jiang Yi cautiously. Not really, I just happened to know. After all, I've been doing a detailed checkup at Southside for the past few days. When you came back, the entire Southside was talking about you. After all, you're now the famous vice director. Coming back to work has nothing to do with being promoted. It's just that I like this job, so don't try to confuse me. Of course, I know what you're thinking. Otherwise, why would you give up being a domineering CEO and come back to be a doctor? How ridiculous would that be in the eyes of others? Huamin leaned back in his chair, took a deep breath and said calmly, in fact, I don't care what other people think. No matter what others say, I will live my life according to my own thoughts. I won't let any unimportant people or things interfere with my decisions. So whether it's a doctor or a CEO, it's fine as long as I'm happy. I don't need other people's understanding and approval. Sweat. I like your low-key pretentious self. Jiang Yi laughed. Huamin, Dr. Hua, do you want to listen to some music? Jiang Yi asked. Whatever. Huamin obviously didn't want to talk too much with him. Jiang Yi casually pressed the CD button, and a magnetic male voice came out. Listening to the familiar melody, Huamin suddenly felt his heart calm down. He didn't want to think about the collision with Yen Ruoshi just now. The singer was Jiang Yi and it was an old song from 10 years ago. Huamin didn't follow celebrities but he still knew this song. At that time she was still in school. Jiang Ye's new album was played all over the city and it was quite popular. This song seems to be very old. It's a song from a long time ago, right? Huamin asked softly. Chapter 2064. Yeah, this is an old song I recorded 10 years ago. Even though I didn't promote it too much and didn't become a hit, I still love this album. That's why I always play it in my car. Sometimes I wonder how many people have forgotten their original intentions. In the end, they don't even know who they are anymore. I guess I'm one of them. Actually, when I debuted 20 years ago, I was just a young boy. At the time, I only wanted to sing. I didn't even dare to dream of becoming a singer. So, I applied for a job at a record company. I started from the bottom and slowly learned a lot. Then, Sister May, who was the music director at the time, saw that I was a hard-working person and gave me a chance to join the company's newcomer audition. I sang an old English song and was picked by a few teachers. Then I debuted. At the peak of my popularity, I held 18 concerts in the biggest stadium in the country. Every single one of them was sold out and tickets were hard to come by. At the time, I was the spokesperson for a carbonated beverage brand. The endorsement fee was astronomical. Jiang Yi muttered to himself and Huamin listened intently. She believed that everyone had a wonderful past and an unknown story. What happened after that? Huamin asked. After that, after I became famous, I became arrogant and forgot who I was. It was too easy for me to make money. I looked at the money that came in every day and felt numb. Then women kept appearing around me. Becoming famous at a young age wasn't a good thing for me. At the time I was still young and impatient. I was too impulsive and too high profile. Then I got tired of singing and felt that it was too hard. My manager started to accept roles for me and I started my career as an actor. Then I got tired and didn't want to accept roles anymore. I couldn't move anymore. I really wanted to find someone to marry. And then? Did you find someone? Huamin looked at Jiang Ye's profile seriously. Dr. Hua, are you stupid? If I could find her, I wouldn't still be single even though I'm in my 40s. It's not that no one wants you, it's just that you haven't found someone that you're willing to marry, Huamin said. Jiang Yi nodded. That's right. I used to think that good girls were everywhere. But when I tried to find one, I realized that they were as rare as pandas. I've been in this industry for a long time, so I know all too well how shady this industry is. There are no good girls in this industry, there are only bitches. The difference is that some bitches are more obvious like Emo Shui, while others are more introverted like Jian Tong. I'm proud, so I can't spend the rest of my life with a bitch. That's why I'm still single. Actually, you can find someone outside the industry. You can find a makeup artist, an assistant, or even a director behind the scenes. Huamin tried to persuade Jiang Yi. Forget it. When you come into contact with this industry, you will know that there is no such thing as an outsider. Whether it's the makeup artist, the director, or even the assistant who does odd jobs, they have all been corrupted little by little. They all have a disgusting aura. As for me, I just want to get out of this industry. I even thought of quitting this industry completely, returning to my hometown in the mountains, finding a village girl, farming and living my life. Isn't that a simple way to live? Huamin nodded in agreement. Chapter 2065. Come on, it's not that simple. Girls from the countryside aren't that naive anymore. They're asking for hundreds of thousands of yuan as betrothal gifts, and some even want to buy a house or a car, or even a building in the city. That's a big appetite. That's just a drop in the ocean for a superstar like you. You probably have hundreds of millions of yuan in assets, right? Huamin laughed. I do, but whether or not I'm willing to give it to you is completely different from when someone asks me for it. Do you understand? I understand. Huamin nodded and smiled. Jiang Yi tilted his head and saw Huamin's smile. His heart began to beat faster. Dr. Hua. Yeah. Huamin looked up. You look really good when you smile. Jiang Yi looked at her profile seriously. Ahem. Huamin awkwardly turned his head to look out the window. Soon they arrived at Southside Recuperation Center. Luckily they weren't late. Thank you, Mr. Jiang. Huamin thanked him politely before he got out of the car. You're welcome, Dr. Hua. See you later. Jiang Yi smiled mysteriously. Huamin didn't have time to think about the meaning behind his words. He quickly grabbed his bag and left for his morning meeting. After he was done, Huamin returned to his office to see patients. Chief, you only have 3 patients in this morning. A few professors from the province will be here in the afternoon for an academic conference. Qin Jie placed some documents on Huamin's desk. Hey, leave it here. I'll take a look right away. When the first patient walked in, Huamin looked up and was dumbfounded. You again? Huamin was surprised to see Jiang Yi. I told you I'd see you later. I'm going to do a full body checkup this time, so I have to take a look at my mental health as well. Dr. Hua, can you take a look at me and see if I have depression? Jiang Yi sat across from Huamin and smiled. Don't joke around, how could you have depression? You're such an open-minded person, you're right. I've always been a big-hearted person. I rarely take things too hard, but Hua Xiqian and Mo Shuega look like they're sick. Huamin didn't react to Jiang Ye's sudden mention of those 2 people. He just continued to organize the information. Shueger has schizophrenia, Jiang Yi said. Whatever happens to Mo Shueger has nothing to do with me, Huamin replied calmly. She didn't have it before, but she became like this after she got together with Hua Xiqian. That's why she often takes drugs to relieve her stress. I think Hua Xiqian isn't a simple person to be able to torture a normal person into schizophrenia. Maybe his condition is even worse than Mo Shui's. You've known him for so long, haven't you noticed that he's mentally unstable? Jiang Yi asked as he inched closer to Huamin. I'm not interested in Hua Xiqian's condition. Even if he has an incurable disease, it has nothing to do with me. Mr. Jiang, I'm very grateful that you didn't come late when I got on the bus this morning, but please don't waste my precious time, okay? There are patients who really need it later. Huamin was losing his patience. Okay, I'll be going then. Anyway, you have to be careful. Whether it's Mo Shue'er or Yan Ruoshi, they seem to hate you to the core. Jiang Yi gave Huamin a piece of advice before leaving reluctantly. Huamin didn't know what this man wanted. He would appear from time to time and say strange things. Then he would disappear without a trace. He didn't look like a superstar at all. Jia, let the next patient in. Huamin pressed the intercom. The door to the consultation room was pushed open and a young woman walked in. She was dressed in designer clothes and looked very intimidating. She placed a Chanel handbag on Huamin's desk without hesitation. Dr. Hua, please take a look at me. I heard that you're an amazing doctor who can cure any disease, the woman said in a sarcastic tone. Huamin looked up and was slightly surprised. Wei Ying, why are you here? Chapter 2066. I'm here to see a doctor. Aren't you a great doctor? Wei Ying didn't come with good intentions and her tone was unfriendly. Wei Ying, is there a problem between us? Or is there a misunderstanding? Huamin took off his black-rimmed glasses and looked at the domineering young woman in all seriousness. What do you think? Wei Ying glared at Huamin. So, you came to me to talk about Hui Yanyan, right? Huamin guessed why Wei Ying came. So, don't you think you owe me an explanation? To be honest, Hui Yanyan and I are friends, but it doesn't mean I can interfere with her privacy. She tried her best to protect my daughter during the kidnapping and was beaten until her ribs were broken. I can't just stand by and do nothing. As for the relationship between her and your husband, I really don't know. So you're going to refuse? You don't want to admit what you did? Well, I don't even know what to admit. Shouldn't you ask your husband's opinion on this matter? Huamin couldn't understand why Wei Ying went to an outsider instead of asking him for a divorce or an affair. What kind of logic was this? At the mention of this, Wei Ying seemed very agitated. Mingxi wasn't like this before. He was always nice to me and always talked about that bitch Hui Yanyan. She was the one who shamelessly clung onto my husband. But my husband never talked to her. I don't know why things didn't turn out this way. After we got married, everything changed. He no longer cares about me. Even on my birthday, he used the excuse that he was busy and didn't come to accompany me. However, he had a lot of time to have afternoon tea with that bitch Hui Yanyan. Huamin, I don't understand why you're helping that bitch and going against me. My brother and sister-in-law are your good friends. You shouldn't treat the Wei family like this, right? Wei Ying was angry at Huamin, so she kept criticizing Huamin. It's true that I'm good friends with your brother and sister-in-law, but there's no conflict between us. Hui Yanyan and I aren't close friends to begin with. I just helped her out when she was being bullied. If she hadn't helped us this time, I wouldn't have had much contact with her. I don't care what's going on between you and Hui Yanyan, but to me she's my savior and I'm very grateful to her. But I still stand by my words, I won't interfere with her personal matters. Cut the crap. Tell me, where's Hui Yanyan now? In the morning, Wei Ying went to the first hospital with her people but found that Hui Yanyan had been discharged. He checked the house she had lived in before and found that she had moved a long time ago. In Wei Ying's opinion, Huamin must have known where she was, and that was why he came to Southside this morning to make a scene. She was discharged. As for where she went, I don't know. You're lying. How could you not know? You must have hidden her. A few days ago someone saw you with her daughter. Wei Ying obviously didn't believe him. Yes, but at that time Hui Yanyan hadn't been discharged yet. I was just taking care of her and her daughter. I did arrange a place for her to live but she didn't go. So, I really don't know where she went. I don't have to lie to you. Instead of asking me, why don't you ask Shen Mingxi? Huamin was a bit angry. If I could ask him, why would I ask you? Wei Ying was furious. Then it's useless to tell me this. I don't care about other people's private matters. Miss Wei, please leave. I have to go to work. Faced with Wei Ying's unreasonable and rude behavior, Huamin asked her to leave. Chapter 2067. Huamin, you're defending a bitch. You're obviously not a good person. Let's wait and see. Wei Ying was sure that Huamin was defending Hui Yanyan, but Huamin really didn't know. After Wei Ying left in a huff, Huamin's mood was also affected. What was wrong with him today? Why were there only 3 patients and 2 of them were enemies? Huamin took a sip of the coffee Chen Jie made for him. Then he took out his cell phone and dialed Hui Yanyan's number. Sorry, the subscriber you dialed has turned off her phone. Please try again later. She turned off her phone? Huamin muttered to himself. Hui Yanyan had been out of the hospital for a few days now. She hadn't contacted her. She thought that Huasi's death was too much of a blow to Yanyan. Now it seemed that Yanyan didn't accept her offer of a place to stay, so she must have other plans. The biggest possibility was that she was with Shen Mingxi. Wei Ying had gone crazy and wanted to take revenge on her. This is truly a terrifying thing. Huamin didn't know much about Shen Mingxi and they hadn't talked much about it. But this was indeed a melodramatic love triangle story. Once the news of Wei Ying's divorce came out, the stock market would be affected. The stock market of both the Shen and Wei families would be affected. There was another patient outside the door. Huamin treated him, prescribed him some medicine and took some time to rest. Coincidentally, in the WeChat group, Zhu Lingling, who was at home, started gossiping. Zhu Lingling, Master, come out and chat for a while. Huamin, aren't you busy at your shop today? Zhu Lingling, not busy. It's been so cold lately and people who aren't close friends don't want to go out shopping or eat. My business is so bad. I'm starving. Please take care of me, Madam Wei, Madam Qin, Jiang Xiaowei, someone come quickly. The wife of the Municipal Public Security Bureau's chief Gao is so shameless. As a direct descendant of a high-ranking official, she actually begs us ordinary people to provide for her. Huamin, I agree with the comment above. Mrs. Director, can you be more shameless? Zhu Lingling, what's the point of saving face if you can't eat it? Huamin, where's Boyin? Let me take a look. Zhu Lingling, I went to my morning class. My mother-in-law and the nanny took me there. I just finished checking the accounts in the shop. Huamin, slightly, what are you doing? Jiang Xiaowei, at the old house. His grandparents miss him so I came back with him. I'm staying for lunch. Huamin, where's Wei Liao? Jiang Xiaowei, he's still in the company. There's been a lot of things going on lately. He has to redo a lot of business with the Shen family. Huamin, now that you mention it, I remember that your sister-in-law came to make trouble for me. Jiang Xiaowei, what? Make trouble for you? Zhu Lingling, her sister-in-law? Wei Ying. Then Huamian told the 2 of them everything that had happened, including the whole story. Jiang Xiaowei, my sister-in-law really likes young Master Shen. She's going crazy after the divorce. Luckily she wasn't home when I came back for lunch. Otherwise she'd start nagging again when she saw me. Huamin, I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Slightly. So, hug. Jiang Xiaowei, it's not your fault. It's just that she's too much of a princess. My in-laws spoil her and she gets whatever she wants since she was a child. She's never been frustrated so she can't stand it when things don't go her way. It's as if the whole world has wronged her. It's good to teach her a lesson so she won't be so smug in the future. Jiang Xiaowei didn't like Wei Ying very much, so she kept a distance from her. Zhu Lingling, then Wei Liao must feel bad for his sister. Jiang Xiaowei, if he does then he'll help his sister. Besides, it's not up to us to decide the divorce. It's between the two of them. If young Master Shen doesn't want to live with Wei Ying anymore, who can do anything about it? Zhu Lingling, Mian, do you think young Master Shen and Wei Ying divorced because of Hui Yanyan? Is she really that attractive? I don't believe it. I know what Hui Yanyan has been like all these years. If he really likes Hui Yanyan, why did he marry Wei Ying? It doesn't make sense. Analyze it. I really want to hear this gossip. Chapter 2068. Huamin, there's nothing to analyze. I can't say for sure, but one thing I'm sure of is that he cares a lot about Hui Yanyan. When Hui Yanyan was hospitalized, he often came to visit her with flowers and fruits. Jiang Xiaowei, then there's definitely something going on. When Shin Mingxi and Wei Ying came to our old house for dinner, they didn't bring anything. If he brought flowers and fruits, it means he cares. Zhu Lingling, fine, we poor people don't understand the world of rich people like you. On one side he has a beautiful wife from a rich family. On the other side he has a down-and-out ex-boyfriend with a child. Young Master Shen's taste is unique. Let's not talk about it. Do you want to have dinner tonight? I really want to eat roasted pig feet. Jiang Xiaowei, okay, I want to eat too. Huamin, I have a seminar this afternoon. I'll see when it'll be over. If it's early, I'll go find you. Zhu Lingling, whoa, Dr. Ho is different now. He's a busy man. Jiang Xiaowei, he's Vice Director Hua now. Please watch your words, Ms. Zhu Lingling. Huamin, do you two want to die? Don't make fun of me. I'll take the twins to bully your son. Huh. Zhu Lingling, don't. Please don't. Every time Gao Buyan is ravaged by the twins, he's traumatized. Jiang Xiaowei, so, can we call off the engagement? We want to break off the engagement. Zhu Lingling, yes, I agree. We'll break off the engagement. Huamin, I'm sorry. No refunds, no exchanges. Ah. Friends of many years chatted happily even if they didn't meet face to face. After chatting with them for a while, Huamin felt much better. At noon he went to the cafeteria with Chen Jia. In the afternoon he started working on the seminar. Imperial Star Headquarters, President Su, something happened on set. And rushed in. What's wrong? Su raised his head. There was an accident on the set of the historical drama The Wanderer. The leading actress, Miss Nia Lingxian, fell from the pressure and is unconscious. She has been sent to the first hospital for emergency treatment. How could this be? How could something suddenly happen to the pressure? Su frowned and stood up. We're not sure yet. We're still investigating the exact reason, but this is the last scene. If we don't finish filming today, we won't be able to finish filming on time. If we can't submit it, we won't be able to broadcast it on time. It will be delayed for a long time. Not only will we suffer heavy losses, we won't be able to answer to the SOV. We're in urgent need of a body double. Isn't it easy to find a substitute? Then why don't we just go and find one? Siyu was also anxious. A stunt double is easy, but in this scene there are a lot of Miss Nia's front faces. A stunt double's back isn't enough. So, I was wondering if we should let her younger sister do it in her place? His sister? She had a younger sister? Then think of a way to contact him. The pay isn't a problem. I did, but his sister refused because she doesn't want to show her face. What's the point of asking me if she refused? Think of a way. Siyu was also furious. No, the problem is, Miss Nia's sister is Huamin's good friend. So, President Su, I was wondering if you could ask Huamin to help, Mian's friend? Who? Think I know him. Su, you knew all of Huamin's friends. Chapter 2069. Her name is Nia Lingxi. I think her nickname is Cici or something. She looks a lot like her sister. She'd be perfect as a substitute, and said slowly. Oh, it's her. Tiu said thoughtfully. He wasn't familiar with Cici because she was Rick's ex-girlfriend. He didn't have many opportunities to interact with her, and even though they met a few times, they didn't have much interaction. What do you think? President Su, you should give Miss Hua a call. I think she'd be willing to help with something as trivial as this. Ben urged. However, Siyu thought about it for a long time and shook his head. Forget it. We'll take responsibility for the losses. It's a business matter anyway. I don't want Mion to owe me a favor. Let's leave it at that. You can leave now. To his surprise, Suyu refused. But President Su and wanted to say something, but before he could, Suyu interrupted him. Leave. Don't mention this again. Suyu had buried his feelings for Huamin deep in his heart. Although it wasn't obvious on the surface, he cared more about it. He was very envious of Qinchu's selfless love for Huamin that didn't ask for anything in return. Qinchu always put Huamin first. Therefore, he decided that he'd rather take a loss than let Huamin do someone a favor and help him, and was very depressed. He didn't know what his boss was thinking, but he knew that Huamin could do it with just one word. After thinking about it and summoned up his courage and called Huamin. After working for Huamin and the twins for 3 years, he had some personal feelings for them. Hello? Huamin was in a meeting, but when he saw Anne's call, he walked to the side and picked it up quietly. She knew that this man would not call her easily. If he called, it must be something important. President Hua, something happened here. It's like this. And told Huamin the whole story. So what can I do for you? Huamin asked calmly. You just need to call Miss Nia's younger sister, that girl named Cici, and persuade her to replace her sister in the remaining scenes. That way we can finish filming smoothly and won't delay the schedule and schedule later. Okay, I'll call right away. President Hua, President Su doesn't know about this yet. I secretly called you behind his back. He didn't want to trouble you, so he'd rather take the loss himself. I understand. Siyu is doing this for my own good. I know. Leave this to me. I'll send Cici to the set in a bit. That's great. Thank you, President Hua. And was very happy. Don't mention it. Suyu's business is my business. Huamin rarely helped Suyu, so he was happy as well. She immediately contacted Cici. Cici was also very helpful. As soon as Huamin asked, she took a taxi to the set without hesitation. Suyu took people to the first hospital to check on the injured Nia Lingxian. After making sure that she was fine, he left with peace of mind. Inside the Bentley, Suyu thought of the set. What's the arrangement there? Did you inform all the partners about the delay? And lowered his head and didn't speak. I'm talking to you. Didn't you hear me? Or are you throwing a tantrum and pretending to be mute? Suyu looked at An and asked, amused. President Su, Miss Nia's younger sister, has finished all the scenes as a stunt double. Didn't her younger sister refuse? After saying this, Suyu immediately realized something. He glared at An and said, You called Huamin behind my back? President Su, I'm sorry. I did it for the company's benefit. And lowered his head in shame. Chapter 2070. That's ridiculous. What did I tell you? Ziyu was furious. I just wanted to help President Hua. It's a piece of cake for him. It might cause a huge loss to our company. I'd rather suffer a huge loss than let her stand up for me. Suyu hadn't lost his composure in a long time. He scolded Shaoan from head to toe. Where is Nielingxi right now? Suyu asked angrily after he calmed down. She's already on set. And answered in a low voice. Let's go and see. Huamin persuaded Cici to finish the rest of her sister's scenes, and Suyu was worried that something unexpected might happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to explain to Huamin. Therefore, she, who almost never visited actors on set, went to Imperial Star's exclusive outdoor shooting location. It was a resort with beautiful scenery. Because it was winter, there were trees and snow everywhere. It was very beautiful. The actors and actresses were wearing winter costumes and seemed to be shooting a fight scene. Yi Jiantong was the female lead in this movie, but she didn't have many scenes. Originally, the movie was to promote Nia Lingxian, so Jiantong was cast as a guest star. To promote the movie, Jiantong was also on set, but the scene was very grand. 4 or 5 assistants were busy serving tea, holding umbrellas and massaging shoulders. When Suyu walked in, he saw this scene. Cici was stabbed by her opponent and then she was lying on the snow. Cut. Please, Miss Nia, can you not look so stiff? The director seemed to be very displeased. I'm sorry, director. I don't have any acting experience before. I'm a bit nervous, Cici apologized. I don't know why you're nervous. If you keep shooting like this, we're going to call it a day. Everyone is waiting for you. Even Miss Yiling is waiting for you here. You're such a big shot. Even your sister doesn't get such treatment. Do you think we'll treat you like a god just because you're a stunt double? The director's words became more and more unpleasant. Cici was a bit apologetic. I'm so sorry. I'll try my best. Let's do it again, the director said angrily. Cece struggled to get up from the snow. It was freezing and she was exhausted from all the tossing and turning. His cheeks were red from the cold and his fingers were starting to stiffen. She had never intended to be a stunt double. Even if she was offered money, she wouldn't do it. However, Huamin's sister had called her personally. Cece was duty-bound because she felt that Huamin was especially good to her and had been helping her and Rick. Although they were no longer together, she was still very grateful. Cece followed the script and did the same thing again. Her opponent slashed her sword and Sisalik was lying on the ground. Why are you so fast? Who would fall down right after being stabbed? Do you have any common sense? I'm sorry, director, Cece apologized profusely. You haven't eaten pork but you've seen pigs run. I really have to hand it to you. I really don't know where they found such an idiot like you. You're even stupider than your sister. The director's unintentional complaint completely touched Cece's bottom line. Director, if I'm not good at acting, you can just scold me. Why do you have to scold my sister? Isn't my sister dedicated enough? She acted with you in the snow and ice. If you didn't check the props properly, she's still in the hospital. Luckily, her life isn't in danger. Otherwise, do you know how worried my family would be if she died? Who's not born to be an actress? I can learn if I'm stupid. But as a director, do you only know how to scold and humiliate people? It's obvious that your character isn't that great, is it? Cece's sudden outburst shocked everyone on set. She actually scolded the director. Chapter 2071. The director was even more dumbfounded. He was a famous director, but he was being scolded by a mere stunt double. What did you say? Say that again. Let me tell you, who do you think you are? I can kick you out anytime. Do you think I want to be an actor? If my friend didn't call me and invite me, I wouldn't even be here. Cece was also furious. Someone get this woman out of here. The director went crazy. He wanted to kick Cece out of the set. Just then Suyu walked up and said coldly, "Who's kicking out someone I personally picked?" Suyu's appearance immediately caused an uproar. Everyone immediately surrounded him. "Wow, President Su, why are you here?" "Oh my god, is that really President Su? I've been in the company for years and this is the first time I've seen President Su in person. I thought he never came to the set." A few actors were so excited that they couldn't even form a coherent sentence. Seeing Suyu, Jiantong immediately stood up and walked over. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming to visit? Are you here to give me a surprise?" She thought Suyu was here to see her. "Who can tell me what's going on?" Suyu ignored Jiantong. He looked directly at the director and then at Cece. President Su, this is what happened." The director was about to speak when Suyu interrupted him. "Shut up, I want to hear what she has to say." Suyu looked at Cece and said, "Look at your sister." Suyu looked at Cece. "I'm very sorry about what happened to your sister. I've already gone to the hospital to see her. She's not in any danger and the doctor said she'll be fine after a few days of rest. She's probably too tired. I've already asked someone to investigate the pressure, and I'll definitely give your sister an explanation. Thank you very much for coming to help us at this time." Suyu's attitude surprised everyone on set. He actually spoke so gently to the stunt double. Even Jiantong, who was watching from the side, felt jealous. Plus, a big company like Imperial Star won't shirk responsibility. As long as my sister isn't in danger, I'm fine. As for coming here, I was against it at first because I'm just an ordinary person who doesn't want to show my face. I don't have any experience and I was afraid I wouldn't be able to do a good job. After Sister Mion called me, I realized that we're in a hurry. It's a special situation, so I hope we can understand each other. Although I might not be able to do a good job, I'll do my best. Thank you, Miss Nya, Suyu. Then he turned to the director. Director Wang, I think you're tired of working with Imperial Star. The director's expression immediately changed when he heard this. No, I didn't mean that. President Su, you've misunderstood. We've worked together for so long, don't you know that I've always been very strict when it comes to handling details? So what I said just now was purely about the matter and not the person. It's really just because I'm strict at work. Also, I didn't know that she was someone you invited, President Su. Please forgive me, President Su. The director didn't dare to say anything in front of Suyu, because one word from Suyu could decide his life or death. One word from Suyu could easily end his career of more than 10 years as a director. Therefore, no matter what, he couldn't afford to offend a big shot like Suyu. Regardless of how many people were on set, Director Wong immediately apologized like a villain, wagging his tail and begging for mercy from Suyu. Chapter 2072. Director Wong, what's the point of apologizing to me? I wasn't the one you were being rude to. Suyu looked at him coldly. Yes, President Su, you're right. I should apologize to Miss Nya. Miss Nya, I'm sorry, it was my bad attitude just now. Please forgive me. Compared to his attitude just now, Suyu's attitude was completely different. Cece wasn't used to it and was speechless. The entertainment industry was really messy. You don't have to apologize, I just don't like it when you talk bad about my sister. We don't have much time, let's continue filming. I hope everything goes well. Cece wasn't the type to cause trouble. After Suyu stood up for her, she knew when to stop and continued filming. Suyu sat on the side and watched. The director didn't dare to make things difficult for Cece anymore. Jian Tong went up to Suyu and said coquettishly, President Su, you seem to treat this girl quite well. Don't tell me you like her? Suyu turned his head and glanced at Jian Tong coldly. Your IQ is plummeting. Are you going through menopause? Jian Tong's face froze for a second, then she forced a smile. President Su, why are you still mad? I was just joking with you. Don't make jokes like this in the future. Makes people sick. Suyu used to think that Jian Tong was a woman who knew her place. However, for some reason she was getting more and more out of hand. She even bickered with the twins in front of him. What a petty woman. I know, don't be mad at me, okay? Jian Tong pretended to be cute. I'm not mad, I don't need to do something like this. Suyu continued to stare at the set. He was afraid that Cece would be bullied. In fact, and knew that President Su didn't care about Cece as a girl. He cared that Cece was invited by Huamin. To Suyu, Huamin was still a person that he could never forget. Huamin was the most important person in his heart. If anything happened, it would be hard to explain to Huamin. In short, Suyu cared too much about Huamin's feelings. Jian Tong secretly took out her phone and took a selfie of herself in Suyu's side profile. Then, after some editing, he posted on Weibo. She wrote that it felt good to have someone come to visit her on a cold day. It was just that a certain someone was always so cold, colder than a polar bear hot. The Weibo post immediately caused an uproar. Suyu had not posted on Weibo for a long time. His fans were almost in despair. Jian Tong's post immediately attracted the attention of many fans. Wow. Goddess, you're so lucky. Did your boyfriend visit you? President Su's side profile is so handsome, it's a perfect side profile. So this is a blatant public display of affection? I'm so jealous. Goddess, hurry up and get married. President Su is super perfect. Seeing the two of you so happy, I believe in love again. Jian Tong's scheming immediately attracted a lot of comments from netizens and became the #1 trending topic on Weibo. The keyword was that Suyu visited Jian Tong on set. The twins were browsing Weibo at home when they saw the post and immediately exploded. Pudding immediately sent a video message. Suyu took out his phone and walked to the side before picking it up. Hello, Miss Pudding. Handsome Su, where are you? Pudding asked in all seriousness. I'm on set, Suyu answered honestly. So you're on set. Did you go to visit Bitch Jian? Pudding suppressed her anger and asked coldly. Who made up the rumor about visiting Jian Tong? Suyu knew that the twins didn't like Jian Tong, so he tried not to provoke them. Chapter 2073. Don't play dumb with me. Look at the two of you, you're the #1 trending topic on Weibo. Bitch Jian posted a selfie of the two of you. I told you 800 times not to be with Bitch Jian. Even if you don't like my auntie, you can't be with Bitch Jian. You won't listen to me. I'm so sad. No, I have to tell mommy about this. Hey, don't Pudding, don't be impulsive. Let's talk this out. Hearing that Pudding was going to complain to Huamin, Suyu couldn't stay calm anymore. He panicked as if Huamin was his wife. How can you talk this out? Do you look like you can talk this out? Pudding was angry. Pudding, I really don't know anything about Weibo or trending topics. Give me some time, I'll take care of it. After hanging up, Suyu opened Weibo on his phone and immediately understood what was going on. He walked back to Jian Tong with a cold face. Who asked you to post a selfie? I just took it for fun. I can use it to promote my new show. Jian Tong purposely tried to find an excuse. I don't need you to promote your new show. Even if you want to, don't drag me into it. Jian Tong, I'm telling you one last time, stop creating hype between us and draw a line between us. If you don't blame me for kicking you out of the entertainment industry. Su Yu really didn't like his daughter who thought too highly of herself. Jian Tong's repeated actions made Su Yu furious. Jian Tong lowered her head and didn't dare to say anything. Su Yu left in a huff. Are you done? Su Yu looked at the director coldly. We're done, President Su. We're only left with post-production, then let's call it a day. I'll treat everyone to dinner tonight, it'll be a wrap party. After speaking, Su Yu glanced at Cece and said in a low voice, you come too. Thank you for your hard work today. Hey, President Su. You don't have to be so polite with me. Cece was just about to refuse. Since President Su said so, you can do it. Don't worry, and added. Jian Tong did not dare to show up at the celebration dinner because she had offended Su Yu. She lied that she was not feeling well and left the set first. At the dinner party in Imperial Star that night, because Jian Tong wasn't there, everyone was at ease. He didn't want this #1 sister of Imperial Star Entertainment to keep talking, which would make it hard for everyone to eat. Seeing that Su Yu took special care of this little girl named Cece, everyone took the initiative to propose a toast. Cece couldn't hold her liquor. After a few glasses she was a little tipsy. Miss Nya, I'm really sorry. I misunderstood and was too strict with you. To be honest, you're quite talented in acting. Have you ever thought about debuting? I can get you a movie and help you increase your popularity. Plus, with your relationship with President Su, you'll definitely become famous. Then you'll gain both fame and fortune. The director stopped being rude to Cece and started praising Cece like a grandson. He even tried to persuade her to debut. It had to be said that people were just so realistic. Cece shook her head. Sorry, director. I know I'm not cut out for that. You don't have to say nice things. If my friend didn't persuade me to come, I wouldn't have come to be my sister's stunt double. Plus, it's hard enough to have an actress in my family. My parents don't want me to be in the entertainment industry and I don't like it either. Thank you for your kindness. After Cece refused, the director awkwardly left with his glass. Only then did Cece walk up to Su Yu with her glass. President Su, thank you for taking care of me. Cece looked at Su Yu sincerely and thanked him. Not only did she thank him for her sister, but she also thanked him for standing up for her today. Chapter 2074. You're welcome. Since you're Mion's friend, we're all friends. Don't worry about your sister, I'll take care of her. I know. Let me propose a toast to you. Thank you, President Su. Cece truly felt that what Su Yu did this time was very manly. It made one's heart feel warm. Since Cece proposed a toast, Su Yu couldn't refuse. So, after clinking their glasses, he downed his drink. Then Cece drank a few more glasses with the other actors on set. When she came back from the washroom, she was a little drunk. President Su, Miss Nya is drunk. And whispered into Su Yu's ear. Why don't you send her home? Su Yu wasn't sure what to do. But I don't know where she lives. She's so drunk she might not remember. Why don't I call President Hua and ask him to pick her up? I think President Hua might know her address, and suggested. Su Yu looked at his watch and felt that it wasn't too late, so he nodded. And immediately called Huamin. Huamin had just finished working overtime and was about to get off work. When he received Anne's call, he called Qin Chu and told him about the situation in advance. Then he drove over to pick Cece up. When Huamin walked into the private room, everyone fell silent. President Hua, she's here? And pointed at the drunk Cece. Huamin frowned slightly. Why did she drink so much? I didn't force her to drink. She seemed to be in a bad mood and kept drinking herself, Su Yu quickly explained. I'm not blaming you. What are you afraid of? Are you guilty? Huamin teased him on purpose. Su Yu, no one at Imperial Star dared to say anything. They watched as Huamin teased their big boss on purpose. Their mouths were so wide open that an egg could fit in them. The insensible director did not know Huamin very well. When they saw the woman wearing a white coat and glasses, they deliberately teased her. Hey beauty, are you trying to seduce us with your uniform? Shut up. Su Yu tilted his head and glared at him with murderous eyes. The director was so scared that he immediately shut up. Huamin walked over and helped Cece up. Smelling the smell of alcohol, he frowned and said, I'll take her away. You guys continue. Shaoan drive them home. Su Yu's next sentence implied that he was worried, but there were too many people. In the end he didn't say it out loud but understood what his boss meant. He nodded and walked Huamin and Cici out. President Hua, where are we going? I don't know where Cici lives now. How about you take her to my house first? Huamin decided to bring Cici home at the last minute. And drove the two of them safely to South Hill Manor. After helping Huamin take Cici to the bedroom and left. What's going on? Looking at the drunk Cici, Mr. Qin leaned against the door and looked at them. Cici's drunk. I don't know where she lives, so I brought her home. This girl is still the same as a few years ago. She hasn't changed at all. Qin Chu glanced at Cici's face and recalled the days when she was with Rick. Huamin was about to speak when Cici mumbled, "Rick, you bastard. Why did you give up on me?" Hearing this, Qin Chu and Huamin looked at each other. "Cici, you're drunk." Huamin comforted her in a soft voice. "I want to see Rick, I want to see him. Please let me see him." Cici was completely out of it, crying as she spoke. Huamin's heart ached for her. Chapter 2075. Rick. He's not here, Huamin comforted her in a serious tone. But Cici seemed to be in a bad mood. People say that when a person is drunk, their suppressed feelings will be magnified infinitely. I want to see him, you know? I really like Rick. Actually, he's the man I like the most. He's also the first person I truly fell in love with. In the past few years when I was abroad, every time I saw someone who looked like him, I would chase after that person. I would check to see if it was him looking for me. I really can't forget the past. I still miss the days when we were together. I really wish I could turn back time. That way I wouldn't have done anything wrong and made him unhappy. Because Cici was drunk, her words were incoherent, but Huamin and Qin Chu both heard her clearly. Honey, what should we do? Huamin panicked and asked Mr. Qin for help. Then let him see. Are you crazy? Rick is in New Orleans, thousands of miles away. Huamin thought her husband was joking. Unexpectedly, Mr. Qin picked up his phone, found Rick on WeChat and sent him a video call. Rick was having a meeting with a few members of his family. He was talking about a very serious matter. When he saw Qin Chu's video call, he froze for a second before picking it up. Qin Chu had never sent him a video call before, so it must be something important. The moment he picked up, he saw a girl sitting on the sofa across from him. She was wearing a cute princess long-sleeve white sweater and jeans, and her long hair was down to her waist. Her round cheeks were flushed red. At that moment, Rick felt a part of his heart thump wildly. That was Cici. That's right, it was Cici, the girl he liked even though he hadn't seen her for 3 years. He didn't have time to think about why Cici was with Qin Chu. He just stared at the image on the screen, afraid that it would disappear at any moment. Huamin held Cici in her arms and pointed at Rick. Cici, look, this is Rick. Didn't you want to see him? He's here. Rick. Is it really Rick? Cici looked up and was dumbfounded when she saw Rick. Rick was wearing a black Godfather outfit, which was very unusual. There was a slightly murderous aura between his eyebrows. Compared to a few years ago, the current Rick was indeed much colder and more heartless. Rick hadn't spoken Chinese for a long time, especially since it was his first time saying it. He was actually calling her name, so he seemed very stiff. Cici was stunned for a second and then burst into tears. Rick, why did you abandon me? You liar, didn't you say that no matter what you would never leave me alone? Why didn't you do that? Cici. For a moment Rick didn't know what to say. He suppressed the excitement and impulse in his heart. He called her name over and over again. Rick looks excited as well. Huamin looked up and mouthed to Qin Chu. Master Qin was too impulsive this time. How could he let the two of them meet without warning? He made Huamin nervous. What a scene. Rick, do you know how I've been through all these years? I miss you every night, but I won't say it. I hope to see you in my dreams every day. In my dreams you're sometimes passionate and sometimes cold, but as long as you're here it's fine. I thought we wouldn't really break up, I thought you wouldn't let me go. I thought you would come to me, but you didn't. Maybe Cici had sobered up or something, but her logic was clear. She spoke as tears rolled down her cheeks. Huamin's heart ached as he watched her. On the other side of the video call, Rick listened to Cici's every word and every sentence she said. Chapter 2076. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have gotten together with you even if I was beaten to death. At that time, my good friends all said that you were from the underworld. You were from a different world from me and told me not to get close to you, but I didn't listen. Because I thought that as long as we were in love, it didn't matter what your identity was. As long as you loved me and treated me well, I thought that we would be together forever. But you left just like that, leaving me alone, to continue this long dream, Cece. I'm sorry. Rick said gently on the other side of the phone. Godfather, are we still going to continue the meeting? The person beside him asked carefully in perfect English. All of you get out. Rick raised his head and glanced at his subordinates with a cold gaze. They were so scared that they didn't even dare to breathe. They quietly opened the door and left. Rick's important meeting was interrupted by Cece's sudden appearance. Don't say sorry to me, it's meaningless. Do you think you can just say sorry when you hurt someone? You're so selfish, Rick, you bastard. I hate you so much. Cece was a little emotional as she scolded Rick. Rick didn't react at all. If Cece could scold him happily, he would be happy too. I don't care. I want you to continue loving me. Cece drunkenly pointed at Rick and ordered. Huamin didn't dare to cry because he didn't want to affect their reunion. Rick, come back, okay? Come back to me. I'll listen to you from now on. I won't make you angry anymore. I'll be a very, very good girlfriend. I'll learn how to cook Western food for you. I'll make spaghetti. I'll fry steak. I'll wash your clothes. I'll clean your house. And I'll give birth to a cute mixed-blood baby for you. Our family will be happy together just like Mion and President Qin, okay? Cece's voice became hoarse again. Qin Chu couldn't stand such an emotional scene, so he turned his head away and didn't dare to look. Rick's heart began to hurt slightly. Every word that Cece said was like 1,000 cuts to him, making him wish he was dead. Of course he wanted to come back. He wanted to go back to the carefree days of the past. But what about the family feud? What about his brother? There was a huge pile of things waiting for him to deal with. Could he let it go? Rick, I miss you so much. Cece couldn't take it anymore. He fell to the ground with a thud. Fortunately, Huamin reacted quickly and supported her in time, not letting her fall to the ground. Cece. Rick was scared out of his wits. He stood up and kept shaking his phone as he shouted. Qin Chu took the phone and said, "Don't worry. She's just drunk and asleep." "Why is she at your house?" Rick asked Qin Chu in low spirits. Something happened at Cece's house. He went out for dinner and got drunk. Huamin went to pick her up, but he didn't know where she lived, so he brought her back. After she came back, she kept asking to see you, so I started a video call. Qin Chu briefly explained what happened to Rick. After Rick understood, he nodded and said, "Thank you, Qin." Rick, actually you too? Qin Chu never liked to care about anything other than himself and Huamin. But at this moment he sympathized with Rick. He clearly loved Cece, but he was trying his best to hold it in. So he wanted to say something to him. However, before he could say anything, he was interrupted by Rick. "Qin, I know what to do. Thank you and Huamin. That's all." After that, Rick decisively ended the video call. "Sigh. It seems like things have gotten worse. I should have just stopped the video call." Huamin covered Cece with a blanket. She walked over and rested her chin on Qin Chu's shoulder. She sighed. "Do you think that even if we stopped the video call they would let go of each other?" Qin Chu asked. Chapter 2077. Faced with Mr. Qin's question, Huamin remained silent. He knew that the relationship between Rick and Cece wasn't as simple as he thought. The two of them could only sigh. When Huamian was in New Orleans, she and Rick had said everything she needed to say. He couldn't do anything to help, and it would seem like he was meddling in other people's business. "Let's go to bed, honey. Okay, don't worry. He's just drunk. She'll be fine tomorrow." Qin Chu didn't want Huamin to worry about Cece, so he kept comforting him. The next morning, when Cece woke up, she was terrified to find herself in an unfamiliar environment. She put on her slippers and opened the door with her hair disheveled. She bumped into Little Bean, who had just woken up. "Oh my God, who are you?" Little Bean looked at the unfamiliar woman in front of her adorably. Are you the older or younger sister of the twins?" "I'm Little Bean." "Hello, Little Bean. Is this your home?" Little Bean nodded. "So this is South Hill Manor?" Cece continued to ask. Little Bean didn't know what to do and kept nodding. Phew. Finally, Cece let out a long sigh. "Auntie, where did you come from? Why are you at my home? Little Bean was also confused. Cece, you're awake? At this time Huamin walked out and wanted to see if Cece was awake. He saw Cece and Little Bean in the second-floor hallway. Sister Mion, yesterday, did you bring me home? Yeah, you were drunk and they didn't know where you lived. I didn't know either. I was worried that it wouldn't be safe for you to stay in a hotel alone, so I brought you home. Did you sleep well? Does your head still hurt? It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, Sister Mion. Cece was very embarrassed. It's okay. Go wash your face and rinse your mouth. We'll go downstairs to eat later. Okay. After Cece went back to her room, she immediately washed up. When she went downstairs, she saw that Huamin's house was really crowded. Huamin's mother, his little brother, Huamin's family of 4, and Qin Ning. Not to mention that there were more than 10 servants. Cece was really not used to it. Cece, come here. Huamin waved his hand. She slowly walked over and greeted everyone with a smile. Sister Mian, I didn't do anything inappropriate last night, did I? Cece stuck out her tongue and asked Huamin quietly. What do you think? Huamin purposely didn't say anything, making her anxious. Did I do something ridiculous? This is so embarrassing. Cece covered her face, feeling extremely embarrassed. Cece, what happened last night? Don't you remember anything? Huamin asked tentatively. I remember that I was having dinner with the people from Imperial Star in a private room and had a drink with President Su. I think you were holding me and I felt dizzy. I can't remember. Cece vaguely recalled the events. Huamin and Qin Chu looked at each other helplessly. What? Did I forget something important? Cece took out her phone and looked at her WeChat and call history. She didn't find anything suspicious. You were drunk and fell asleep. Huamin decided not to tell her about the video call with Rick. He didn't want her to be reminded of the past. Your Auntie Cece? Pudding looked at Cece carefully and asked in her baby voice. Hi, Pudding. You're Pudding, right? Ha, you look so much like Little Bean. Cece smiled and greeted Pudding. Auntie Cece, I heard that you and Uncle Rick were in a relationship. Is that true? Pudding asked directly. Huamin felt like his brain was going to explode. What he feared most really happened. This little brat. Chapter 2078. Baby, who did you hear that from? Cece suddenly felt awkward. Isn't it something that everyone knows? Pudding answered cleverly. Ahem. Pudding, hurry up and eat. Don't you have piano lessons today? I'll ask your daddy to drive you guys to class. Mommy has to go to the hospital too, don't waste time. Huamin immediately changed the topic and didn't want his baby daughter to talk about Rick and Cece's love history anymore. It was already tormenting enough. Okay, Mommy. Maybe you don't want Auntie Cece to remember the past and that's why you don't want me to talk about it. I understand. But Auntie Cece, it's okay to fall out of love. You have to move on, Cece. Huamin, Mr. Qin. Can't you control your daughter? Huamin protested. Mommy. So every time you feel helpless you have to ask your husband for help? Pudding looked at Huamin sympathetically. You make it sound like we don't have a husband, Little Bean interrupted. The truth is we don't have one yet. But when we grow up we will. Pudding calmly analyzed. Huamin was completely speechless. Yixin couldn't eat anymore and burst out laughing. Mom, I told you my nieces are amazing. Did you see that? They're already so confident that they can talk back to their mommy. This is the first time I've seen my sister lose so gloriously. Jing Yixin, can you stop laughing like a demon? Is this the time to be happy? Huamin was speechless. Pudding, Little Bean, don't bully Mommy. Mr. Qin, who was drinking his oatmeal, finally spoke up. Then the two little guys gave him face and said in unison, Okay, Daddy. Are you betraying me? Ever since Mr. Qin came back, you've been ignoring me as your mother. What do you want? Huamin looked at the twins, both angry and amused. The lively breakfast finally came to an end. Qin Chu drove the twins to their piano lesson while Huamin drove Cece to the city before heading to work at Southside. Along the way Cece was very embarrassed. Sister Mion, sorry for troubling you last night. What are you talking about? What trouble? We're friends. I definitely wouldn't leave you in the lurch. Plus, you helped to be a substitute because of me. You also helped so you solve a problem. I should be the one thanking you. Don't say that, Sister Mion. President Su is a really good person. He's been paying attention to my sister's situation and he pays her medical fees on time. He also visits my sister every day, which makes my family feel much better. President Sue also protects me on set, and that director doesn't dare to bully me. Cece was especially grateful to Sue for taking care of her this time. She also told Huamin about the situation. Huamin smiled. Lord Sue has always been a man with a sharp tongue but a soft heart. He looks like a bad-tempered person, but he's actually very childish. He's not scary at all. Yeah, I always heard from my sister that President Sue. Apparently, all the artists in Imperial Star are afraid of him because he's very temperamental. When he loses his temper, it's really scary. I didn't expect him to be so easygoing. He's not scary at all. You've finished your part as a substitute, you don't have to go anymore, right? Huamin asked. It's okay. I'll go home and change before going to the hospital to take care of my sister. Is your sister okay? Is it serious? Huamin asked with concern. Chapter 2079. It's not serious, just a slight bruise on my lower back. Luckily I didn't hurt my nerves. My parents were scared to death. It's good. Huamin nodded. Sister Mian stopped the car at the intersection up ahead. I'll get out. It's close to my house. I'll drive you to your house. No. You're in a hurry to get to work. Really, it's broad daylight and I'm sober now. I'm fine. Okay then, be careful. Huamin carefully parked the car on the side of the road. Cece unbuckled her seatbelt and was about to get out when she suddenly thought of something. She turned around and looked at Huamin with a troubled expression. What's wrong? Hey, Sister Mian. Last night. Did anything weird happen? No, why do you ask? Huamin's expression didn't change as he looked at Cece calmly. Nothing, I think I dreamed of Rick. Cece said dejectedly. Really? Then you're probably thinking too much and had a dream, right? Probably, huh? Yeah, I'll get out now. Be careful and be careful on the road. Okay, bye, I'll talk to you later. Huamin continued driving to Southside while Cece sobered up and went home. Huamin really did his best between Cece and Rick. He did everything he could and the rest was up to them. Plus, Rick's identity was too sensitive right now. He had Luna, the daughter of a mafia family, by his side. He wondered if he would have any interactions with Cece in the future. It was hard to say. So to not add to Cece's worries, Huamin didn't tell her about the video last night. She believed that Rick wouldn't want her to tell Cece either. After all, it wouldn't help. On the other side, Mr. Chin took the twins to piano lessons. Yang, I'll postpone the morning meeting for 2 hours. I have to take my daughters to piano lessons first, so I'll be late at work. Chin Chu called Yang. When Chin Chu came back, Bella and Yang's positions were switched. Since Bella was a woman and Huamin's personal assistant, Chin Chu found it inconvenient. He directly transferred Bella back to the administrative department and transferred little Yang back for his own use. Little Yang was very happy with this arrangement. Only God knew how much he missed the days when he could fight alongside the big boss. Got it, boss. After hanging up the phone, Chin Chu parked his car in front of the music classroom. Daddy, are you coming to pick us up later? Daddy won't leave. I'll wait for you here. Chin Chu smiled. Oh, that's great. Daddy, you're amazing. I want to give you a 5-star rating. Pudding was rarely so happy. She thought that since Daddy was so busy, he would definitely leave after sending the two of them here. Daddy, if you give me half an hour, I can definitely finish it. It won't take you too long, Pudding boasted. There's no rush. You two can take your time to learn. Pudding opened the car door, got out, and was escorted in by the bodyguards. However, Pudding didn't get out of the car. Little sister, why aren't you leaving? What are you waiting for? Pudding turned around and looked at Pudding. You go first. I have something to talk to Daddy alone. Pudding pouted cutely. Okay then, hurry up. Pudding walked into the music classroom first. Chin Chu looked at his little daughter and pinched her little face lovingly. Little Bean, what do you want to talk to Daddy about? Today, we have something serious to talk about, Pudding said seriously. How serious? Chin Chu couldn't help but want to laugh. Very serious, super serious. Daddy, don't be so cheeky. I'm talking about something important. Pudding was immediately displeased by her daddy's casual smile. Hey baby. Go ahead. Chin Chu stopped smiling, picked up Pudding and placed her on his lap. Then he hugged her with fatherly love. Go ahead baby. Daddy's listening. Chapter 2080. Daddy, do you love mommy a lot? Do you even need to ask? Of course I do, Mr. Chin said proudly. When it came to loving Huamin, he believed that no one else in the world would love Huamin as deeply as he did. Are you worried that mommy will be taken away by someone else? I'm not worried about that. I know that your mommy is stubborn. Once she's set on me, she won't change her mind. Huamian had been pregnant and had given birth to this child for 4 long years. But how do you know that mommy won't be touched? What if she meets a strong opponent? Little Bean asked. Little Bean, do you know something? Is your mommy having an affair? Chin Chu teased his daughter. How is that possible? What are you thinking? I mean, what if? This is just my hypothesis, okay? Baby, let's not hypothesize. If you want to say something, just say it to Daddy. Your little brain is always turning. Daddy can't guess what you're thinking. Chin Chu immediately surrendered. He realized that Little Bean and Pudding's logical thinking was different from normal people's. They would never let him guess what they were thinking. Hey, then I'll be direct. I just think that mommy is an excellent woman. So, a lot of people like her. Other than you, Daddy, Handsome Sue, and the big bad guy Huasiqian also like her. So? Chin Chu asked with a smile. So Daddy, you have to be alert at all times. Look after mommy and don't let anyone take her away, Little Bean warned. Ha, she won't. No one can take your mommy away. Chin Chu laughed happily. He felt that talking about this cute topic with his daughter made him look cute. Don't be so insensitive, okay? Let me tell you, last time when we were kidnapped, you didn't even know what Huasiqian did. What did he do? Chin Chu froze. He didn't ask in detail. Because it was too urgent that day, he only thought about how to pacify them after saving them and didn't ask about the details. However, Chin Chu knew that Huasiqian was almost beaten to death by Huamin because he wanted to protect Huamin. That was why Huamin couldn't bear to see him make a move on Huasiqian. They had already discussed this matter. That big bad guy was beaten half to death by the kidnappers to protect mommy. Mommy was so scared that she kept crying and thought that he was going to die. Sure enough, Little Bean was talking about that incident. Daddy knows about this. I've also talked about it with your mommy. Don't worry. No, there's one more thing that mommy didn't tell you, Little Bean said with certainty. What is it? This piqued Chin Chu's curiosity. That big baddie actually already had a plan for mommy. He even sketched out a beautiful blueprint. That day he told mommy that he always had a dream in his heart. He wanted to take mommy to a small island and live there with her. He even wanted to have a baby or something. Anyway, he didn't seem to be joking. Daddy, you have to take it seriously. You can't let that big baddie have a chance to take mommy away, okay? My sister and I can't lose mommy, Little Bean ordered seriously. Your daddy can't lose your mommy either. Chin Chu smiled gently. Huamin wouldn't tell Chin Chu these things because he didn't want Chin Chu to think too much. Little Bean's meaning was obvious. She wanted him to take this seriously and work harder to protect Huamin from harm. Little Bean, thank you for telling Daddy all of this. Daddy will be extra careful in the future and protect your mommy, and you and your sister. Our family will always be together. Chin Chu lowered his head and kissed his daughter's forehead, giving her the sincerest promise. Hua Corporation Headquarters, President Hua, look at the news. Miss Imo, one of Huasiqian's subordinates rushed into the office and reported to him. Chapter 2081. After Huasiqian heard what she said, he picked up the remote control and turned on the TV in his office. The local TV station was broadcasting an interview program, and Mo Shueko, who had been banned from the entertainment industry for a long time, was on the program. Miss Mo, were you and President Hua ever together? It's been a mystery all these years, the host asked with a smile. Mo Schweger smiled. True and false, false and true. Miss Mo, you sure know how to beat around the bush, huh? The truth is, President Hua and I have known each other for many years and we've been together for many years. Even when he married his late wife, he never broke up with me. Mo Schweger's words shocked everyone. After hearing what she said, the entire audience gasped. Well, looks like there's big news. So you're saying that President Hua has always been with you and never broke up? Even when he got married, he didn't end his relationship with you. That used to be the case, but now that we've broken up, he must have felt helpless. Maybe he got tired of me, I understand. But we're still friends now. I was in a bad mood back then and I didn't have any jobs or movies to film, so I kept thinking too much and made too many friends. Now I know I was wrong. Emo Schwecker took the opportunity to clear her name. Then it's a shame that you two didn't end up together. You're a perfect match. President Hu looks like he's easy to get along with. He's always smiling, and I heard that he's nice to the media and his subordinates. Yeah, Sichin is actually quite easy to get along with, but he has a few special fetishes. Then Emo Schwer hesitated. Special fetishes? Can you tell me a little about them, Miss Emo? What kind of fetishes? The female lead didn't let go of this sensitive topic and continued to ask. Emo Schwer smiled reservedly and said, well, he's really horny when it comes to that. He's always thinking about that. I'm not that strong and I'm so skinny, so sometimes I can't handle it. So most of the time I use my hands, or my mouth. Emo Schwer's bold answer sent the entire audience into a frenzy. The female host almost peed her pants. The female lead kept looking at the director as if asking if this scene could still be broadcasted. After all, this was a live broadcast. So many people were watching. However, the director didn't seem to have any intention of stopping. It was obvious that he wanted Emo Schwecker to continue. In order to get high viewership ratings and eyeballs, the female host forced herself to continue the interview. Then, other than this, do you have any other hobbies? Yeah, he likes to do it in the bathtub because it's very comfortable to soak in the water. Emo Schwecker was getting bolder and bolder. She didn't even have a filter on her mouth. Is there anything else? Even the host was blushing. Sometimes we'll do some SM stuff. He'll blindfold me, tie my hands and stuff like that. Sometimes we'll even roleplay. He'll make me pretend to be a student and wear a short skirt. He'll be the teacher and then we'll have big butts. Emo Schwecker said with a straight face. The audience was dumbfounded. Was this really an interview with a superstar? Why did it feel like an interview with Ma Yu? At this moment, Hua Xiqian's expression couldn't even be described as ugly. He knew that Emo Schwecker was doing this to get back at him. Boss, should we find someone to talk to Miss Emo? One of his subordinates asked nervously. Chapter 2082. There's no need for that. Let her talk. Bitch, since she doesn't want to live anymore, I'll send her on her way. Let her continue to do whatever she wants. Hua Xiqian suppressed his anger. He wanted to see what else Emo Schwecker could do. He had been cautious all his life, how could he be tricked by a bitch? Me. Look at this video, I'm laughing my ass off. Zhu Lingling sent the video of Emo Schwecker's interview to Huamin. Huamin had just finished writing a prescription for a patient. After watching the video on his phone, he felt terrible. Zhu Lingling, how is it? Are you done? Huamin, yeah, I'm done. Zhu Lingling, how do you feel? Huamin, Emo Schwecker was bewitched. Zhu Lingling, are you scared too? Huamin, yeah, I'm surprised. Huamian knew a little about Emo Schwecker, even though she always did things without leaving any room for negotiation. However, doing such a thing that harms others without benefiting herself was really not her style. If she had not said it herself, she would not have done it. If she hadn't said it herself, Huamin would have thought that someone was trying to smear her reputation. Zhu Lingling, hey, do you think Hua Xiqian is really that perverted? He even had so many perverted fetishes when he was doing it. Oh my god, this is too scary. Huamin, how would I know? Only the person involved would know such a private thing, right? Zhu Lingling, I think Hua Xiqian is going to explode from anger right now. Huamin, I don't know if he's going to explode or not, but I do know that Emo Schwecker is going to be in trouble. Zhu Lingling, that's for sure. If it were me, I wouldn't let her go either. Between the two of them, it's always the guy who likes to expose details. I can't believe a woman like her is so shameless. She's going to get married in the future. Who would dare marry her? Oh right, isn't she with Jiang Yi? Jiang Yi wouldn't dare to do her this time, right? She's not with Jiang Yi anymore. I heard she's with the old man from the Xiang family. Huamin gossips for once. What? Old man? He's so old, is he okay? Emo Schwecker is a heroine. Zhu Lingling and Huamian gossiped for a while. After Huamian put down her phone, she still couldn't calm down. Emo Schwecker probably did this to get back at Hua Xiqian, but was it really worth it to seek revenge without caring about the consequences and her reputation? Could it be that Emo Schwecker had lost her mind this time? That day, Hua Xiqian and Emo Schwecker became the hottest topic on Weibo. Emo Schwecker had always been a celebrity on Weibo. Everything she posted would receive tens of thousands of comments. This time it was even more so. As soon as her interview was released, she received hundreds of thousands of comments. Her popularity skyrocketed. Hua Xiqian rarely posted on Weibo. Occasionally he would repost some chicken soup for the Seoul articles. This time Weibo was in an uproar. The netizens were afraid that the drama would escalate, so they all left comments. I heard you're hardcore. You like S&M? President Hua, are you S&M? Same kind please. President Hua, please whip me and take me as your slave. Qianqian, I heard you have great stamina. I want to give it a try. Mo Shui, that bitch. She took advantage of you and then betrayed you. I despise her. You're the best. Qianqian, I didn't know you were so good. I want you. President Hua, I didn't know you were such a pervert. You look like a gentleman on the surface, but you're actually a beast. We're both men, but I envy you the most. You have money, looks, and stamina. Have you had enough? Be careful of AIDS. What a perverted man. The whole corporation is on fire. I don't know if it's a publicity stunt, but I can't believe it. GK headquarters. President Qin, the headlines are all about Hua Xiqian and Mo Shui. What do you think? Assistant Yang poured Qin Chu a cup of tea. A dog biting another dog, very exciting. President Qin commented proudly. I wonder how the whole corporation's PR team is going to handle this crisis. I'm looking forward to it. Assistant Yang gloated. Chapter 2083. He thought that the whole corporation would send out a PR statement to clarify the situation. However, Hua Xiqian didn't do anything. He quietly watched the rumors, and the way the employees looked at him changed. At the entrance of the whole corporation, Yen Ruoshi was surrounded by reporters. Miss Yen, are you still dating President Hua? Of course. How do you feel about this incident? Do you feel hurt? Of course not. Why would we care about something that doesn't exist? It's ridiculous. It's not true. I don't know why Miss Mo would say that. Maybe it's because she hates him. After all, Qianqian isn't with her anymore. He's with me now. Miss Yen, are you a third party? A reporter asked sharply. Yen Ruoshi immediately glared at the reporter. How is that possible? When did you see me as a third party? No, in the interview, didn't Miss Mo say that she and President Hua were never separated? Even after President Hua got married, they continued to have an extramarital affair. So, I'm thinking that your appearance might be a bit of a disadvantage in terms of timing, right? The reporter was smart this time and spoke in a more reserved manner. Yen Ruoshi was furious. I told you not to believe that woman. She's a drug addict. Why would you believe her? She's talking nonsense. She said it on purpose to smear Qianqian and I met 3 years ago. At that time his ex-wife had just passed away and he was in a bad mood. I stayed by his side for 3 years. We were true love. Qianqian doesn't have the addictions she's talking about. What she said is not true. Please don't spread false rumors. You'll hurt the man I love. Miss Yen, why didn't President Hua come out to clarify the situation? Is there something he can't say? What's so hard to say? Qianqian is a low-key person. Why would he need to clarify something that didn't happen? What a joke. You media outlets have no bottom line now. You can believe anyone's words. I'm drunk. Alright, move aside. This is the first time I'm responding to this matter, and it will also be the last time. Yen Ruoshi squeezed her way out of the crowd and drove away angrily. Originally, this matter had spread like wildfire and attracted a lot of attention from the media from all walks of life. That night, another incident once again pushed Hua Xiqian to the heart of the storm. Mo Schweger was in a car accident. Although it wasn't serious, she was hit by someone on purpose. Mo Schweger was sent to Southside Recuperation Center, which was very close to the accident site, for emergency treatment. Her manager immediately called the police and accused Hua Xiqian of deliberately getting someone to hit her. Because it involved a very serious case of contract killing, the police quickly filed a case. That night, Hua Xiqian was taken away from his home for interrogation. After the photos were exposed, it caused another uproar. Many people believed that Hua Xiqian was angry because of Mo Schweger's information, so he purposely hired someone to kill her. Hua Xiqian couldn't clear his name even if he jumped into the Yellow River. That night Mo Schweger was interviewed by the media at the hospital. She looked haggard. Miss M, everyone is saying that this car accident was intentional. What do you think? The media swarmed around Mo Schweger. Chapter 2084. I don't know. After all, I don't have any evidence. But, when the accident happened, it was really weird. After the car hit me, it stepped on the gas as if it wanted to kill me. I was so scared. It was so scary. Mo Schwecker pitifully recalled the situation. Do you think President Hua has anything to do with this? I don't think it's Chen Qian. Even though we're no longer together, we used to be together. I don't think he would be so heartless as to do something like that to me. Even if I exposed him, I don't think he would mind. Mo Schweger continued to pretend to be innocent and tried to defend Hua Xiqian. Her manager immediately said, "Shui, don't be so stupid. He has no feelings for you. Otherwise, he would have come to save you the last time you were in trouble. He would have blacklisted you and announced that he was breaking off all ties with you. Friends from the media, you don't know how heartless Hua Xiqian is." When Schweger was at the peak of her career, she wanted to go overseas to pursue her career. However, because of one sentence from him, she stayed and even signed with the Hua Corporation. She worked so hard for him and earned so much money for him. Where was he when Schwerer was in trouble? He didn't even come to visit her. He even hit her when she was down. What kind of relationship does a man like him have? Ms. Liu, stop it. Mo Schwerer looked at her manager with red and swollen eyes. I want to say it. What you exposed on the show is true. What's done is done. What's done is done. What's there to be afraid of? How dare he get someone to hit you? Luckily, you were smart enough to turn the steering wheel in time. Otherwise, you would have been a corpse by now. My silly girl, Shui, you can't continue to defend that scumbag. Her manager's words were all recorded by the media. Mo Schweier's eyes were red from crying. Her manager was furious. Then there was the news that Hua Xiqian was taken away by the police. The series of events caused a huge earthquake. The Hua Corporation's stock market began to fall as soon as the market opened. Negative news surrounded the company. Suddenly, people started to kick a man who was down. Some of the smaller companies that had conflicts with the Hua Corporation took the opportunity to speak up and support Mo Shui. Mo Schwecker, as a victim, received sympathy from the netizens. Hua Xiqian, on the other hand, had become a scumbag. No one had expected this outcome. That night, after the media left, Mo Schwerer immediately wiped her tears. She put away her aggrieved expression and smiled at her agent. Sister Liu, how was my performance just now? Very good, full marks. Hua Xiqian is done for this time. That's exactly what I wanted. Who asked him to be so heartless towards me? I'm not someone he can sleep with or kick away as he pleases. Mo Schwerer clenched her fists tightly. Schwerer, you've been busy all night. I'll go buy some food. What do you want to eat? The shrimp dumplings are ready, and there's also seafood porridge. Okay, then wait for me. Be careful. There are bodyguards at the door. Shout if you need anything. Hey. Alright, what did Mr. Xiang say? Mo Schwecker quickly asked. Mr. Xiang said that you shouldn't go overboard. Things have gotten out of hand and Mayor Yan called him. It seems like he doesn't want things to get out of hand. It's not like you don't know that Mayor Yan's dumb daughter is Hua Xiqian's girlfriend. Mo Schweier's manager said sarcastically. So what if he's the mayor's daughter? I don't buy it. Mo Schwecker rolled her eyes. After her agent left, she picked up a small mirror and touched up her makeup. She even hummed a song. When Hua Min opened the door, she didn't notice him. She thought that her agent had returned. Chapter 2085. You're back so soon? She turned around and saw Hua Min in his white lab coat. Hua Min had just finished an emergency surgery with the orthopedics department, so he had been working overtime until now. When he heard that Mo Schwecker was hospitalized here and found out what happened, he decided to visit her. You don't look like a victim. You look more like a winner. Hua Min put his hands in his lab coat pockets and looked at Mo Schwecker quietly. Why are you here? Mo Schwecker was surprised to see Hua Min. I work here. It's not like you don't know. What are you doing here? Don't tell me you're here to visit me. I don't need your fake kindness. Mo Schwecker put down her little mirror and glared at Hua Min. Miss Mo, you're overthinking things. I don't think I know you well enough to visit you. I'm here because I have something to tell you. Are you going to plead for Hua Xiqian? Mo Schwecker asked proudly. Hua Min sighed slightly and said, let me correct you. You know Hua Xiqian better than I do. He doesn't need anyone to plead for him. You better worry about yourself. If God wants you to die, he'll let you go crazy first. What I'm seeing right now is your craziest side. So you think I'm done for, right? Emo Schweger sneered. No, I don't think that way. I just don't know how long you can be so arrogant. I'm curious, why did you give up your life and piss him off? Is this what they mean by having nothing better to do? Huamin asked curiously. I'm here for revenge. I don't understand what you're trying to do. Did Huasichen kill your dad or dig up your ancestors' graves? He betrayed my love for him. Emo Schweger's words were a little hysterical. Love for him? Stop fooling around, Miss Emo. Your words sound very humorous. Huamin finally realized that Emo Schweger was a woman with a twisted mind. What do you mean? Are you questioning me? Emo Schweger couldn't stand Huamin's attitude. Emo Schweger, let me explain it for you. Used to be a poor kid. Even though you were pretty, you couldn't achieve anything. You didn't come from a good family, so you didn't even go to a good school. You even lived with a hoodlum. Later on, you accompanied a friend to an audition and caught Huasiqian's eye. He did everything he could to make you what you are today. He didn't have that much power back then, so you were just a newbie. You weren't that popular, but as you stayed by his side for years, you became more and more popular. The Huasiqian funded your most famous movies, and there are a lot of people who are prettier and better at acting than you. Why did you become popular in your 20s? It's all because Huasiqian supported you. Everyone knew that you were with him, so no one dared to bully you or sleep with you. Everyone gave in to you, supported you, and helped you get to where you are today. Now that you guys broke up, you became angry out of humiliation. You kept saying that he let you down. There's a saying going around in WeChat moments right now. I give you a gift, 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 I give you a gift. Everyone knows that you're with him, so no one dares to bully you or sleep with you. Everyone gives in to you and supports you, so you've had a smooth journey all the way to where you are now. Now that you guys broke up, you flew into a rage out of humiliation. You keep saying that Huasiqian let you down. There's a saying going around in WeChat moments right now. If I give you a piece of candy, you'll be happy and grateful. If I give you candy every day, you'll get used to it. You'll think that it's only right that I give it to you. If I don't give it to you one day, you'll think that it's my fault and that I've wronged you. But you've forgotten that you didn't have anything in the beginning. I was the one who gave it to you first. So you're a classic example of a person who hates you. Huasiqian has done so much for you that you're treating him like an enemy. You really want to kill him. You're actually quite ruthless. You can even hire someone to kill yourself and frame Huasiqian. Everyone thinks that you're innocent and wronged. But no one knows that Huasiqian is the one who'll never be able to clear his name. You're such a bitch, Emo Shui. Huamin rarely spoke so harshly to a woman, but Emo Shui's actions today really angered him. After hearing what Huamin said, Emo Shui sneered. So you're trying to clear Huasiqian's name now? Chapter 2086. Clear my name? Why would I do that? What's in it for me? Huamin was confused. Huamin, do you think it's something to be proud of to be loved by Huasiqian? Emo Schwecker looked at her with jealousy. No, it's the opposite. I think it's a scary thing. My life is a mess because he loves me. My husband almost died because of me. So, in a way, I hate Huasiqian a lot. But I won't do what you did. I won't use such despicable methods. I'll find evidence and one day I'll send him to prison. I'll make him pay for all the crimes he deserves. Huamin, you're so naive. Do you really think you'll find evidence? Don't worry, justice grinds slowly but surely. No matter how powerful Huasiqian is, there's always a loophole. I'll find it. But right now you should be more worried about yourself. Your little tricks won't affect him. Instead, you'll piss him off. You'll die soon. Do you really think I'll let him go this time? Emo Schwecker was furious. She seemed to have made up her mind to compete with Huasiqian. Don't underestimate his power, Huamin reminded her kindly. I've been by his side for so many years. Do you think I don't know how powerful he is? Emo Schwerer laughed mockingly. Haha, is that so? Then why don't you tell me what he went through in Germany for 6 years? Huamin's words made Emo Schwerer speechless. She really didn't know what Huasiqian went through in Germany because she didn't know him back then. So, Huamin, are you trying to show off to me that you've known each other for a long time? No, I'm just reminding you not to overestimate yourself or underestimate your enemies. It won't do you any good. You should get better. Huamin couldn't be bothered to talk to Emo Schwerer anymore. She realized that Emo Schweker's heart was filled with dark thoughts. Since she had decided to take revenge on Huasiqian, then so be it. But Huamin promised her that she would not succeed. After Huamin left Emo Shui's room, he changed his clothes and prepared to go home. As soon as she went out with the car key, she saw Qin Chu's car parked at the door. She felt warm in her heart. "Hey, handsome guy, can I get in your car?" "Sure, but don't let my wife find out." Mr. Qin was serious even when he was joking. Huamin opened the car door, got into the passenger seat and kissed Mr. Qin on the cheek. "Why didn't you tell me you were coming to pick me up? You didn't even send me a WeChat message." "So, were you surprised?" Qin Chu looked at her gently. "It's okay. Isn't it natural for a husband to pick up his wife after work? How can you describe it as a surprise?" Huamin said proudly. "So, what if there's a midnight snack? Wouldn't that be a surprise?" After Qin Chu spoke, he took out an exquisite lunchbox from the side. Inside the box were Huamin's favorite crab roe buns and milk tea. "Well, Mr. Qin, you're so mature now. Tell me, did you get some advice from a master?" This time Huamin was indeed surprised. She had been working overtime and was starving. Originally, she wanted to go home and cook a bowl of noodles, but to her surprise, Mr. Qin bought her favorite midnight snack. She was overjoyed. "I did get some advice from a master." Qin Chu chuckled. "Who is it? Tell me the truth." Huamin grabbed Qin Chu's neck and interrogated him. Chapter 2087. "Do you really want to tell me?" "I promised her that I wouldn't betray her." Mr. Qin mumbled. "Her? Oh, then I want to know even more." "Hurry up and tell me," Huamin continued to whine. "Okay, then I'll tell you. This master is Qin Mumu," Mr. Qin announced. "Little Bean." Huamin was dumbfounded. Qin Chu nodded. "Honey, are you kidding me?" Huamin didn't believe him. Qin Chu told him about Little Bean's private conversation as he drove. Huamin immediately felt awkward. Little Bean, how could she betray me? She even told you something so private." "Of course she did. There are no secrets between us. If you hide anything from me again, I'll teach you a lesson." Qin Chu lovingly pinched Huamin's face. Huamin immediately smiled. Mr. Qin, please don't be mad. I won't do it again." "Emo Shuika was hospitalized at your hospital, right?" Qin Chu asked. Huamin took a bite of a crab roe bun. "Yeah, she was here. I saw her." "What happened?" "Nothing much. She wrote and directed this drama to frame Huasiqian. I have to say, this woman is ruthless." "How about Huasiqian? Did he come out? Will he be in trouble?" Huamin asked nonchalantly. "No trouble. Gao Ran said that he doesn't have enough evidence. But the impact is really bad. The Hua Corporation lost a lot of money in the stock market today." "Okay, let's not get involved in other people's business. Let's eat first." Huamin happily ate his midnight snack. After he was full, he leaned his head on Qin Chu's shoulder. It was a tiring day, but it was fulfilling, especially when she was with Mr. Qin. He felt like she was the happiest person in the world. The next morning, because it was the weekend, Huamin rarely had a day off, and Qin Chu rarely had to work overtime in the company. The twins wanted to eat barbecue, so Qin Chu and Jixin went to the market early to buy a lot of ingredients. In the glass house in front of the small garden, the family began to busy themselves with the barbecue. When Bella arrived, Jixin was stunned. "Why is Bella here? I called to invite him. Is there a problem?" Huamin smiled. "No problem, sis. You really are my sister." Jixin was ecstatic. Bella took 2 stuffed animals and gave them to Pudding and Little Bean. "Thank you, Auntie Bella." The 2 children loved her very much. "President Hua, you need to wash the vegetables. Let me help you." Bella came over to help Huamin after she finished washing her hands. Bella thought it was going to be a big party, but when she arrived, she realized that she was the only outsider other than the Qin family. He felt very awkward. Jixin and Qin Chu lit a fire on the other side and prepared to barbecue. Yang Merong ran around the house with the twins. With Huamin and Bella here, it was much easier for them to talk. "Hey, don't call me President Hua. I'm not working for the company anymore." Huamin corrected Bella. "Then what should I call you?" "Dr. Hua." "Director Hua?" Bella stuck out her tongue playfully. "No, you should just call me Mion." Huamin chuckled. "I don't dare. I've been with you for so long that I'm scared. You're so majestic, how could I dare to call you Mion?" "Haha, it would feel weird." Then you can call me whatever you want," Huamin said helplessly. "Okay, President Hua." Huamin was speechless. Bella, are you still in contact with your boyfriend? Huamian asked, trying to get to the bottom of it. Chapter 2088. Which one? Bella froze. How many do you have? Of course, it's the one from before. That scumbag, I stopped contacting him a long time ago. He really did come looking for me. Guess what he wanted? Hooking up. Huamin guessed. No, he wanted to borrow money from me. Bella giggled. Borrow money? Did you lend it to him? Huamin frowned slightly. How could I? I'm not an idiot. Why would I lend him money? He told me that he was really pitiful. He said that something happened to his family and he needed to pay for the surgery. He asked me to lend him 30,000 yuan. I really believed him at the time. In the end, I called his sister. The little girl said that nothing had happened and that her family was fine. His lie was exposed by me. He was so ashamed that he lied to me and said that he lost the bet and even made up for it. He used the company's public funds and so on. What happened after that? After that, of course, I blacklisted him. What else could I have done? Saved him for Chinese New Year? Bella replied domineeringly. Huamin gave her a thumbs up. Good job, I like domineering women like you. President Hood, don't tease me. I don't dare to talk about domineering in front of you. I'm just an idiot at most. Bella really admired Huamin and had always treated him as her idol. In the company, being Huamin's assistant was also a job well done. Bella, you're not young anymore. You still have to think about your marriage. Yeah, my family introduced me to a few girls. But they didn't hit on me. Either I don't think they're good enough or they think I'm too old and too domineering. So they just left it like that. My parents are quite worried. After all, I'm already this old. But it's not something to be anxious about, I'll just leave it to fate. It's good to be alone. If you meet someone suitable, you still have to find one. Huamin advised. Yeah, I know. Thank you, President Huo, for your concern. Bella smiled. That's enough. Hurry up and give us the stuff. Jixing waved his hand. Huamin and Bella brought the skewered food over. Qin Chu, who was wearing a white shirt, started to grill meat. Perhaps it was because of the charcoal fire, her face was a little red and there were small beads of sweat on her forehead. Huamin immediately took out a wet towel and helped her husband wipe his sweat. Mr. Qin, thanks for your hard work. Huamin teased as he wiped Qin Chu's face. Thank you, Dr. Hua. Qin Chu smiled. I was caught off guard by this display of affection. I might as well die, Jixing complained. Shoo, go play somewhere else. All right, go and get something to drink with Bella. Huamin found an excuse to send them away. After Jixing and Bella left, Huamin asked her husband mysteriously, Mr. Qin, do you think Bella and Jixing are a good match? How would I know? I'm not the Moon Lord. Mr. Qin's answer was hilarious. Huamin, what I mean is, you know their personalities better. Do you think they have a chance? It's okay. Bella is more mature and reliable. Jixing is a little young and still needs to be polished. The most important thing is if Bella is willing to be in a relationship with a younger man. If she's okay with it, then it's okay, Mr. Qin analyzed rationally. Yeah, I think so too. If they really do get together, then they'll be a good couple. I'm not worried about leaving Jixing with Bella. Huamin nodded. Not far away, the twins began to gossip. Sis, don't you think it's strange that Auntie Bella would come to an event like this? It's strange that someone from the company would come to a family gathering. Is there something fishy going on? Little Bean asked. Chapter 2089. Do you even need to think about it? Even my butt knows that Uncle Jixing wants to hit on her. Pudding looked at Little Bean with disdain. Little Bean, okay? Forgive me for being too naive, I didn't think things would turn out like this. Also, does Uncle like mature women? That's right. Anyway, after his ex-girlfriend died, he hasn't been in a relationship for the past few years. Mommy said that he was hurt and didn't dare to date anymore. I didn't expect him to change his taste. So, should we help him? It's tiring to see him flirt so awkwardly, Little Bean suggested. Forget it, after what happened with Auntie, I don't want to care anymore. Pudding was uninterested. Okay, if you don't want to help, then I won't either. Let Uncle do it himself. If he does, then he's capable. If he doesn't, then he's useless. Little Bean took a bite of the big apple in her hand and sighed. If Jixin heard his two nieces talk about him like this, he would probably be speechless. During lunch, everyone had a good time eating. President Hua, where's President Qin? Bella asked curiously. The President Qin she was talking about was Qin Ning. Ning, she went out to play. She's been back for so long, but if she's not busy with the company, she's taking care of our kids. It's been hard on her, so she drove out today. Oh, Qin Ning woke up early in the morning and drove out in her sports car. She raced all the way to the top of the mountain and had a great time. At noon, she found a random Hong Kong restaurant and was about to have lunch. Just then Tang Chuan walked in alone. Wow, beautiful. What a coincidence. Tang Chuan immediately came up and sat next to Qin Ning. Coincidence? Or did you come to me on purpose? How is that possible? Sea City is so big and there are so many Hong Kong restaurants. I just walked in. How can you think of me like that? Okay, pretend I didn't say anything. Miss, what would you like to eat? The waiter walked over. 2 pineapple buns with butter, sweet and sour pork ribs and vegetable noodles. Wow, you're eating that much. It's none of your business. Qin Ning glared at Tang Chuan. Sir, what would you like to order? The waiter looked at Tang Chuan. Same as my girlfriend. Thank you. Who's your girlfriend? Qin Ning glared at him. Don't get too excited, what I meant was a female friend or girlfriend for short. I'm not a girlfriend either. You and I aren't close, right? No matter how bad we are, we can still be considered Weibo friends, right? We added each other on WeChat. Can you not be so heartless? Tang Chuan asked shamelessly. I can't be bothered with you. Qin Ning lowered her head and played a game on her phone. Ning, I heard you're very capable. You're already a senior executive at GK at such a young age? What does it have to do with you? Gosh, your expression is exactly the same as your brother's. And Pudding's the same as well. What powerful genes. Qin Ning's momentary cuteness made Tang Chuan feel like he had seen Pudding. However, because it was Qin Ning who acted like that, it was especially cute. My 2 nieces have a really bad impression of you. Qin Ning touched on his sore spot. That's because I'm too handsome to the point that everyone hates me. That's why they pay so much attention to me. Narcissism is a disease, how do you treat it? Qin Ning lightly glanced at Tang Chuan's face. You not liking me is also a disease, you have to treat it. Tang Chuan said flirtatiously. You're tuning in to the Biao's Wuxiao Chronicles YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.